Hi girls and guys, it's Mr. Tracky and we're on the right track. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to survive longer in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Thus, the side effects of what I teach you should help you obtain the higher streaks in the game. Now, the two biggest complaints I hear from subscribers and people who follow me on Twitter is people complaining about being third-partied and people also getting shot in the back. Now, if you're not familiar with the term third-partied is basically when you're in a 1v1 situation with somebody, gun on gun usually, and then somebody hears that fracas going off and decides to get involved with their teammates, and then now you are fighting an unfair gunfight between two people and yourself. Now, this is something that we didn't see often happen in previous Call of Duty titles unless the team was running around together, but in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 it is very popular to see this happen, and there's a reason for this happening. Basically, because of the introduction of a higher time to kill, it does take longer to kill people on this game, and you are often able to run away, both parties in fact. So quite often a scenario will be you get in a gunfight with somebody, you manage to run away, get around the corner, so do they, 50-50 damage, you both manage to heal, you engage again. Whilst this gunfight's taking place, information is being given on the heads up display. Two red markers are going off on either side, on your side and on their side. Both teams can see what's going on. Now, because many of the weapons don't have the option of a suppressor, this will happen even more often in this game, and you better believe that people are going to take full advantage of this. Now, often when you get into a gunfight, you are that focused on getting that kill, you often forget about your surroundings and what is going on around you, and often enough people will turn up out of nowhere and you'll wonder, whoa, has the spawn flipped or something? How come I'm getting targeted like this? But it's because you're having prolonged gunfights. Now, my suggestion to you is, if you don't kill somebody near enough straight away in the first instance that you see them, you need to readjust and think about what you're going to do now. Quite often, if somebody backs off, they will back around the corner where their teammates are. Now, you better believe if you're on microphones like me and my teammates, if I've hit somebody, straight away the first thing out of my mouth is he's weak, he's weak, he's weak. And that is where my teammate will literally huddle around that one person and basically gang up on them. It's that pack mentality, that wolf mentality, that safety in numbers as such. So often this is going to be the mentality of your teammates. And when somebody backs around a corner, if your teammate does come around the corner and they stop, you can see them healing, so that should indicate to you that something's wrong, and often you will follow that teammate to go for that kill instinctively because you believe somebody's there. So you better believe that people on the adjacent team are going to be doing the same thing as you. So again, you need to readjust. If you need to find a new flank, a new route, then so be it. Remember, if you tag somebody in this game, and we're talking about TDM because that's what I play mainly, if you even tag an enemy and your teammate managed to kill them from a different direction, different portion of the map, you're still going to get 100 points towards your score streaks, which is a massive amount. It's basically almost a full kill if you think about it. So it's great to know that you can tag somebody, you can have that mentality in this game to tag them and run off and live another day. If you're on your streaks, there's nothing worse than knowing that you lost a gunfight that you probably could have ran away from. So it's a mentality change, and it's a change that is going to take some time, because if you are a vet like me and you've been playing Call of Duty for the longest time, Black Ops 4, it doesn't register to you sometimes that the game is totally different. This is the most tactical Call of Duty you will ever play thus far. The healing, the reloading, these are two decisions straight away that makes a big change in gunfights, because if you do get into a fracas with somebody and you're both taking damage, you've both got to go away and make the decision, am I going to heal? Am I going to reload? Am I going to re-engage after I've healed? Or am I going to re-engage after I've reloaded? Or am I just going to totally run away and do both of those things at a further distance and then wait aim down sight and pick the person off that's too persistent. That's what you need to do sometimes in this game, and it's a mentality that's hard to adjust to, believe me. You've seen some mistakes in this gameplay here. That's because I was going all Rambo in the previous games, and then I started to realise I was getting picked off by people, so I slowed it down, and there was an AC 130 because I decided to change back into that mentality that I'm trying to get into. So we've dealt with third partying, and your mentality adjustment is something that you've now got to remind yourself about mid-game. Every 2 minutes into the game, you've got to remind yourself, I'm playing a different Call of Duty here. So we've got to deal with the likes of getting shot in the back. Now this is probably the biggest issue with a lot of people, and the guide I'm giving you here isn't going to stop you from ever getting shot in the back. I will say that now, because there are a lot of videos that will guarantee things that are just not true, and that is not how I run my channel, guys. But it's going to reduce the number of times that you are going to get shot in the back. So in terms of people complaining about getting shot in the back, now I don't want to sound like I'm being an arse here, but I need to say it like this. Quite often people who are getting shot in the back are pressing into the map too hard, and they're basically rushing as if they was playing an old Call of Duty game. You can't do that on Black Ops 4, it just does not work, believe me. A lot of people are going to blame the spawns, and while the spawns have not been that great, there are things like TAC insurgents, and there are things that will help you predict the movement of people if you believe you're getting shot in the back often. The acoustic sensor is perfect for people who are constantly getting shot in the back. Also, if you don't like to use the acoustic sensor, use Recon as your specialist. His sensor darts will save you from getting shot in the back quite often. In fact, there are quite a lot of pieces of equipment that will help you from getting shot in the back in the game, but the best piece of equipment is you and common sense. If you've just killed 4 people in front of you, chances are that you're going to get someone coming behind you, because again, what I've just said to you in terms of third partying, people are listening to what you're doing. A lot of people are getting flanked in this game because there are not much suppressors. We are so used to playing a Call of Duty where suppressors dominate, Ghost dominates. You've got the fog of war in this game. Ghost isn't that effective. There's not many weapons that actually have suppressors on them, and we forget about this, so we just instantly blame things like the spawn. But it isn't always that. You have to be much more alert in playing this game. Kill a few people and then switch where you are. You need to move from where you are, because the more that you stay in one position in this game, the more intel the other adjacent team is getting on you. That is the difference between not getting shot in the back and getting shot in the back, believe me. 44-2 in this game, and it's because I manipulate my position. I change it where the enemy believes I am. I switch over. You can see I'm doing it right now. I keep switching from one side to the other. I knew there was going to spawn on me. I should never have peeked. I should have waited till they came, and I would have cleaned out the whole team with that purifier. And that is the difference between staying alive and not staying alive in the game, as I was saying earlier. You've got to play this game a lot more smart, a lot more sensible, and believe me guys, if you start implementing these things that I've been saying into your game style, I guarantee you will get better at the game. Can I guarantee that you won't get shot in the back? No, because that's just not true, but you will get shot in the back a lot less, and you will have a lot more gameplays just like the one on the screen. For any of you guys who are curious to what gun setups I was using in these 2 gameplays, the first gameplay I was using the VKM, which is one of my favourite LMGs now. Very slow fire rate, but it is a heavy hitter. I use the reflex sight on it. High caliber 1 for increased damage to headshots, high caliber 2 which is increased damage to chest shots also, and then I pop on grip. It's only got 50 in a magazine, does reload quite slowly, but if you're methodical, as I've been saying, this shouldn't be a problem to you. I use the cosmetic device to lower the cost of my streaks. Then I use scavenger and I also use Dead Silence for this particular setup. Very effective, and in the first gameplay I was using Ajax as my specialist. For the second game that you saw, I was using the Magnificent Titan, which is another amazing LMG, and I used the Reflex Sight, the Extended Grip 1 FMJ to tear any body armor down, and then I have changed it out, as you've probably noticed from my previous suggestion, to a stock, just so you move a little quicker when aiming down sight. I use a cosmic device on this as well with Scavenger, Gung Ho, and then I use Dead Silence, and the specialist of choice in the second gameplay was Firebreak, who I will be covering in a video very soon. Guys, there are many buttons you can hit, but the like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy, and as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.